Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Community Blood Center's Appleton headquarters. I'm President and CEO John Hagens, and thank you for joining us on behalf of all of us at the Community Blood Center. We're excited to share about our life-saving power of blood donations and our efforts to strengthen the national blood supply. Every 2 seconds in the U.S., someone needs a blood transfusion. That means in the next 10 minutes, over 300 people will need a blood transfusion that has to rely on volunteer blood donors to get through surgeries, cancer treatments, childbirth complications, life-threatening emergencies, and even more. The need for blood is constant. And here at the CBC, we provide a safe, reliable blood supply to more than 40 hospitals across the Midwest. Donors and recipients often share their stories with us. And just a few weeks ago in this very room, Northeast Wisconsin's Tansy Leaderhouse shared her story. Tansy survived a serious car crash in 2002 at just 17 years old. The crash took the life of her best friend and left Tansy with severe injuries. She said her trauma surgeon at Theta Care Regional Medical Center in Neenah initially gave her less than a 1% chance of living. Tansy received more than 100 units of life-saving blood products throughout her hospital stay that lasted about a month and a half. She said, and I quote, "I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for volunteer blood donors. There is no substitute for donated blood. Blood can't be made or manufactured. It can only come from a generous donor." Thanks in part to those donors, Tansy is now a beloved nurse at a Brown County orthopedic clinic. She's a loving mother of 3 children and the author of her novel 43 Days, which is just out, detailing her story of survival and resilience. She's also working towards donating 100 units of blood herself to replace those units that she received, and she's more than halfway there. It's an incredibly remarkable story from both a recipient and from a donor perspective. Incredible stories like Tansy's truly emphasize the importance of a reliable and stable blood supply when every second counts. Our team produced advancing policies to support a strong blood supply to many of our local representatives, including Representative Weed's office in Washington, D.C., during Blood Advocacy Week this summer. We're encouraged to see those conversations reflected in the Blood Centers Act, otherwise known as Boosting Life-Saving Operations, Opening Donor Center Acts. Current regulations mean that donor centers must wait, often up to a year or more, when adding collection sites under an existing license. The same regulations apply even when the new location operates under the same standard operating procedures, uses the same devices, and is staffed by the same trained professionals. This legislation would minimize wait times and streamline supplemental licensing for trusted blood centers. That means blood centers could create more local donation opportunities more quickly, respond to emergencies more efficiently, and better meet shifting patient needs in our communities. We can achieve this while upholding the highest standards of safety and quality. We are proud to maintain rigorous donor screening and testing and monitoring procedures as regulated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. And we want to make sure that we always maintain an adequate and safe blood supply. This bill is a true testament to the hard work of raising awareness alongside many other blood centers across the country. Blood Advocacy Week helped us get the word out as part of America's Blood Centers Act for Blood grassroots program. The program helps blood centers like us create meaningful change at both the state and federal levels. America's Blood Centers also applauds Representative Weed and his co-sponsors, Representative Dr. Kim Schreier of Washington and Representative Thomas Tiffany of Wisconsin, for introducing legislation to modernize regulations. A representative from the National Organization of AABC could not be here, but left a message to share. Kate Fry, CEO of America's Blood Center, said in part, quote, "Current licensure requirements impose redundant FDA reviews every time a new collection site opens, even when the same equipment, staff, and procedures are already approved and in use. By streamlining this process, the legislation will eliminate inefficiencies, help new donation sites open in a timely manner, and ensure patients have access to safe and available blood supply. We're honored to play a key role in innovation and improving patient care across the country. I want to thank Representative Weed and his staff, Chris and Render, for their work both in in developing the legislation and in being here today with us for the tour. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Representative Weed to say a few comments about the act.
Great. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, John, for the great comments. It's great to be here on Thanksgiving week. Packer victory this weekend. We're going to have another one on Thursday, so looking forward to that. But a great day to be here to celebrate, community blood centers. Looking forward to our tour today and getting to know all of you and the great work that you do. Continuing to raise awareness for the importance of giving blood, and of course, make sure that people understand that we're at a critically low supply. And that's where this legislation was born. And for that reason, I think that we need to do everything we can to cut the bureaucratic red tape out of the system. We heard from John about the delays in being able to offer more opportunities for people. And that's where this legislation was born. And I'm proud to introduce something that in a world of polarizing politics in a bipartisan way, I really enjoy working with folks across the aisle on issues that are important to our districts. And so working with Dr. Schreier was something that, of course, I enjoyed doing. And the name of it, of course, Blood Centers Act, and it's Boosting Life-Saving Operations Opening Donation or Blood Centers Act. And the idea here is to expedite the ability of blood centers to open new locations and collect life-saving blood for those, of course, that need it. This bill is simple, it's straightforward, which I like. It required the FDA to create a faster approval process for you that already has a strong track record. Either those with 3 existing licenses or at least 1 licensed location that goes already beyond FDA requirements. Additionally, it requires the FDA to act on a supplemental application within 30 days unless a blood center has repeatedly, of course, failed to meet safety standards. And I think that's common sense. So again, very thankful to have Dr. Schreier, the Congresswoman from Washington, and Congressman Tom Tiffany working together on this. And I look forward to working with them to get this over the finish line. I also want to encourage everybody listening today to give blood. If you have the time, if you're willing and able, I think obviously that's very important today with our critically low supplies. While it might feel like a small act, it can quite literally save someone's life, whether it's a friend or family member, even a stranger. So many of our fellow Americans are in need of blood donations. So it's critical that we continue to work together to strengthen our nation's blood supply and, of course, to protect the most vulnerable around us. So we're truly blessed to have such dedicated blood centers right here in the greatest area to live in the world, northeastern Wisconsin, in this great facility here. The work that you do is incredible, and it, of course, saves lives every single day. I'll continue to be an advocate for your great work. I'll do everything I can in Washington to ensure we protect our nation's blood supply and get common sense legislation like this, the Blood Centers Act, signed into law and make blood donation more accessible here and, of course, across our amazing country. So thank you again for having me today. Looking forward to our tour. And I'd be happy to answer any questions too, or I don't know, John, you're available as well. Any questions that anyone has?
To finish on blood donation.
All right.
I would love to hear.
Welcome to my world.
What does it mean to you to be in a room like this with so many dedicated professionals who are dedicated to strengthening the blood supply in Northeast Wisconsin?
Well, I think it saves lives. I think this is the fun part of the job, no question. I mean, I have a lot of responsibilities in my job, but for me to be here to be helpful in raising awareness and to encourage all of you and the great work that you do is always a lot of fun. And it's important, though, that we continue to get the message out, encouraging people that are willing and able to give blood to please do so if you can. We're at critically low supplies. And then what I'd like to do, obviously, is to reduce the red tape so that you have more opportunities to continue to grow, because that's what we need is more supply. So for me, it's about a partnership with the community. And so it's great to be here to get to know all of you and really tour this amazing facility and the great work that you do. Yes.
Not to be impatient. How long does it take to get a bill like this passed and through?
That's for me, when you have things that are, when I propose a bill, it's important if you can get someone on both sides of the aisle. To where we can each go to work. And I mean, I have a lot of friends on the Democrat side, probably just as many as I do on the Republican side. I think it's important to have good relationships, but you need to get 216 votes to get something to pass. So you need consensus. So that's our job, is to go out there, raise awareness, saying, hey, I think this is an important thing to do. So you just never know. I have my second bill in 9 months being introduced next week, but there's 435 members in the House. And then, of course, if we pass it, it has to go to the Senate, and then you need 60 votes there. But for me, this is a great that it's bipartisan, working with Dr. Schreier, and I think the two of us will go to work on it because it's obviously very important. Again, we just need to cut the red tape and pull back the regulations in a safe way so that you can continue to move and meet the demand.
And, just the end of this year coming into next year.
I mean, it's a great way to serve. It's a great way to serve others. I think that's what the holiday spirit is, and helping. And this is a great way to do that. Again, if you're willing and able, and you have the time to be able to help, and it just raising awareness during the time. Maybe you have some free time, or you're off of work a day or two, and I think it's just a great way to raise awareness here today that this is something you can do to help others in your community. I'm looking forward to the tour.
Excellent. So are we.
All right.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.